Boom. Back at it, Lisa.
Hello, hello.
Tuesday, fired up. Rich Maliki, live in the studio, New Jersey. How the hell are you? How are you?
I think it should be Taco Tuesday today.
Oh, I haven't eaten all day. Been running around like a madman, getting a lot of things ready. January has been flying. Too quickly. I mean, I could just tell you briefly, for those of you just joining us, wait for some people to circulate in. LinkedIn, I see you. I see some people rolling in. Let me know who's here.
Hello,
How's your day going?
Millennial. Taz, my senior millennial.
Taz in the building. So I had a meeting today with my brother-in-law, Christian, who is going to be jumping into a sales position here and accelerating, the word of the day, I think, accelerating our growth in equipment sales. It's going to be a lot of strategic partnerships, a lot of different things that we've been building for. We're dusting the test kitchen plans off. I went to City Hall today.
You did?
I did.
Whoa.
Got my documentation back with a couple of little check marks that I need to do.
Very cool.
Going to be emailing some people that are going to be our electricians, our plumbers, our fire suppression, everybody back in the loop, so we can get this test kitchen rolling. I want to be able to invite people to our parties.
We're gonna have parties.
Oh, we're gonna have parties. We're gonna have, we're gonna set up. We have the combi ovens here. We have Jurek combis. We have, we're gonna have some Royal Range stuff with automatic ice. Thank you guys. We're gonna have our griddles going. We're gonna be cooking for the community. We're gonna be cooking for you. We're gonna be demoing. We're gonna be doing a lot of things. Stay tuned for all that. We're gonna bring a lot of massive amounts of content to everybody, I'm sure.
I know that was the fun stuff to work on.
It was. I was just watching the Broaster instant burger video I was showing Chris today.
Yes.
Man, that was gonna be a really good little series.
It was.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get back to it. And this time, instead of that, we're probably gonna be using our flat top griddles. We could recreate Smash Burger. We could recreate Five Guys. We could do some good burger recreations and have some fun. We'll have some fryers here. We'll do some fries. Maybe we can get some peanut oil.
Ooh.
And do some
Five
Guys fries. So we'll see.
Joe Fabich says, let's get fired up.
What up, Joe? Yeah, so a lot of stuff that plus, and then the big kicker that I've been working on was getting everything out to Mopsy to Naples. So got it all packed up and shipped, waiting for UPS to do the pickup here around 4:30. And that'll be heading out. So we have our booth that we're gonna have at Mopsy next week.
And what do folks get for visiting us?
Absolutely nothing, Lisa.
Nothing?
Come on down and get nothing.
They gotta get something.
What are they gonna get?
A discount.
Oh. So listen, we got FedCon going on. You can see down the bottom of your screen here. Go to fedcon.com, get your tickets. If you're a technician, get your ticket. Be in the room. We're going to be announcing our keynote that's opening the joint, and you're going to want to hear what he has to say, because he's going to have some really valuable things on how you could become that six-figure technician in this industry and beyond, and build and grow. So you're going to want to get your tickets as well. But if you come to Mopsy and you're there and you come by our booth and you decide, hey, listen, you know what? I want to come to FedCon. We're going to have 10% off for our Mopsy attendees, our Mopsy people. So something to look forward to next week. And we're going to be going over my presentation. I'm going to be talking.
And they get that too.
Oh, and we're going to get, and you're also going to get one of these, which I found more downstairs.
Nice.
And I have more in my house. So if we happen to run out on site, I have more. I'll send one to you.
And that is for anybody just joining us. That's if you come visit us at the Mopsy booth.
Boom. See the little, we're logoed up on here. This is the end of marketing. I gave this out at the first FedCon back in 2020. Everything in here, extremely relevant right now. So it's a great book to utilize. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of that later in this episode. But yeah, and we're going to be talking. We have a talk on the 25th. I don't know what that talk is going to look like 100%. But I have an idea. I mean, I know we want to talk about the importance of telling people your story, connecting, and becoming more than just someone on the other end of a camera, becoming a friend, becoming a partner, becoming someone that you can do business with, that you care about, they care about you. That's what this is all about. And that's what we're doing here. We're doing it right now with you, and you don't even know it. So, do we have somebody saying something?
No.
Oh.
Is that what you were looking for?
I don't know. You sometimes I play off your look. Sometimes I'm like,
I know. I understand.
So I'm playing off you. So So listen, what are we talking about today? What are we fired up about? There's a million things that we could really be fired up about, but I really want to really start to drive more value to you guys here in this Fired Up. So we're building business here.
Stop looking at me.
I'm feeding off what you got.
I'm taking a look at the stats here. Yep, I see it.
All right. But we really do want to drive value. And I'm going to definitely look to have more guests on this year. We'll definitely, that's something that I haven't even talked to you about, but we definitely want to get some more guests on, I think, this year.
And I haven't even talked to you about this. Let me just ask everybody, would it be of any value to have StreamYard as an actual guest on this live?
Why not?
Does anyone have questions on how we go live or what StreamYard is?
Yeah.
I can actually ask for them to come on.
That's true. No, that might be some real valuable stuff for people. It's a good idea. Especially if someone's sitting there saying, how do I go live? How do I do it? It's not as difficult as you think. You know, there's things out there there's tools to use. So anyway, bringing value to the people here, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the food equipment industry, food equipment service. And, we're building. We've been building, and we are at a really, really, really great point here at Malachi and Service Masters collectively right now. So what's next? We're breaking out of our shell from that 6 to 10 technician firm to that 20 technician, 25 technician, 30 technician firm across both markets. We're adding, I have talks with 3 technicians.
Oh, wow.
Coming up. There's 3. So looking at, we're working our way towards 30 techs across both markets. So this is new territory, and I know for a fact cannot do it alone. So definitely have a really strong core group of people in the office now. We put things in place, and I think as you're building and growing, and I'm not saying that there's only one way to do it, because there's not. There's more than one way to skin a cat, right? There's more than one way to grow a business. There's no exact roadmap. You could put things down, but life happens and business happens and things change. So this is just me to you saying, hey, listen to how we're going to kind of develop things and do things. And then you could just take that and run with it and do whatever you want with it. Or you could say, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and turn me off and say, screw this guy. It's up to you. I got love for you no matter what. So putting people in place, from service managers to the parts department to warranty administration, to operations, to HR payroll, to service support specialists, to key account managers. These are all things that need to be in place. We've got them in place. And the next piece of the puzzle for us, I think, is an operational person to really come in and oversee the foundation that's been built, so we can manage things properly. We could put better systems and procedures in place. Truth be told, I did not execute properly in a lot of ways here, and inventory being one of them. I just for some reason, I just never executed properly on inventory. Even going back to with my father, there was poor execution on inventory here forever. Even right now, I could tell you we don't have a grasp on our inventory, and that's the big change that's going to come this year. We have a new operations manager that's going to come in and really help the team around us. And we're going to sit down right now, right out of the gate. We're going to sit down day one. We need to strategize. We need to put things down that are the most important, maybe the top 2 or 3. And those are the things we need to really wrap our heads around first. And if I'm looking at this, and I'm not trying to rush it. I don't want to rush this. This is something we need to nurture, give some TLC, and let time take its course. Bringing somebody in to understand everybody's position first, right? We need to understand, this person needs to understand those positions. When you're growing and you're putting someone in a position that, whether they're from the industry or not, doesn't matter. They still need to know, they need to get to know every person in an individual level to understand what is going on a daily basis. What's going on in parts every single day, every single second, there's something going on. We need to drill down all those things and then see where we're weak and see where we're strong, and work on those weaknesses and double down on our strengths. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to go down as far as getting to know one another more deeply. And through that is connections. And we talk about connections on every level, whether it's me, social media, talking to you through a camera, whether it's you doing that on your platforms, getting closer to people, telling people your story. We're going to do that here in real life as well. So that's number one, I think, out of the gate, getting to know the technicians, ride-alongs. Those are going to be key. They're going to be crucial. Got to know what we're selling as far as parts go for inventory. Got to know what the job entails. Got to see how the interactions are going with the customers. We got to see where we are lacking and see where we're really strong. And we got to bring that back and we got to make it better. That's what this is all about. So accelerating our operations is going to make the entire company better. You've heard it before. It starts from the top down. That's what we have to do right now. And especially as we go into the next phase of what this is. And it's scary, but I mean, I do love, even though the pressure might get to me, I still do love living in the pressure. I still love the stress of it all. Even though it keeps me up at night, even though I'm walking around like a basket case sometimes, there is a big piece of me that does love it. And when we get through it and we actually execute and things happen, like look at FedCon. It's a big ball of stress. And you're trying to figure out like, okay, even like the things, like I said, we're not even talking about, we got to get the badges laid out. We got to get the banners. There's a million things that got to come together. But then when you get down there and you see, and everything is where it's supposed to be, now you kind of sit back and go, yeah, we did this. We made it happen under pressure. And now look at the people are coming, and Gail said that to me. Gail Cease with Hobart, formerly of Hobart, when we were in the room down at FedCon in Miami, she was like, Rich, before this thing moves away from you, I want you to just stop right now. This was at the opening reception, and look around at all these people. You did this. You brought them here. And she was like, I need you to enjoy that. And she's a coach. She's a life coach, a business coach. So she's got that mindset of like, slow down, pay attention to this, take it all in right now. Don't move. Just listen and watch and pay attention. And I did that. And there really is a lot of that sense of accomplishment that we talk about, living in that stress. It's all about that journey to that end point to where you see it all come together. And then you see the value, and then you see the people that are like, I got tremendous value from this session and from that session. And I loved the food. And I met these guys that I'm now doing business with. And I never knew him, but I know her. I know him and her now. We're doing, I see it happening. When you look at it from the operations perspective here in this service side, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to put these goals down and we're going to execute on them one by one with patience, right? We want to move fast in the day. We want that micro speed, but that macro patience over time, we have to have that. I don't want to rush it. So as we build operationally, those are going to be some things to definitely do. We need systems and procedures in place from a lot of angles. You hope and you think that your technicians, right, know what to say and know how to react and interact in certain situations. And I think in a lot of cases, they probably do, especially the guys that have been doing it for a long time. But there's those instances that if we could put things in place, we could probably be better off for us, for our company, for our partners, and for the end user customer at the end of the day. Let's just for example, how to handle warranty calls properly. We send our disclaimer out. There's a process upstairs that's in place. We send the warranty disclaimer form out. They have to fill it out. We have to get the credit card. The office and service support team know that. Call doesn't go on the board until all that's received. Customers it's all on there saying, listen, check your gas pressure, check your outlets, check your breakers, make sure there's no user error or abuse. Acts of nature are not covered. All these things are on there. Like, pay attention. These things aren't going to be covered when we get there and our technician says, Rich, it wasn't plugged in, or Rich, the breaker was tripped, and all these things. What's protocol? How do we handle these things? We got to make sure that people, our technicians, know that. We can't assume. And I don't want to assume anymore, because as we grow and we add more team members, more technicians, the further away it's going to get if we don't have concrete systems and procedures in place that someone could look at and follow and refer to, and we could train it. We want to train people. We want to have training sessions here, so everyone is on the same page. When you're building a brand, it's all got to look the same. That's why Chick-fil-A does it so good. Chick-fil-A, if you look to Chick-fil-A, the way that they're branded and the way that their training is in-house, from the top of corporate to the franchisees out in the field, every single Chick-fil-A you go to, and I've mentioned this before,
Yeah.
they don't say thank you. They say it's my pleasure. And that's every Chick-fil-A.
And it's never been not that. Like, I've never seen a slip up at Chick-fil-A ever in my life.
Neither have I.
Ever.
Neither have I. And they're polite and they're courteous. Do you ever go sit down in a Chick-fil-A restaurant? They have flowers
Yeah.
on the tables.
And mints.
And not only that, the manager's walking around every 10, 15 minutes maybe and checking on the guests. Hey, God, do you have everything you need? Can I get you any more sauces or any?
And
Tell me what fast food place that happens
I was
at.
going to say, this is an
Nowhere.
organization that essentially at the backbone of it is exactly the same as every other organization, or all, I should say, the other organizations have the exact same tools and processes that they can put in place to be just like Chick-fil-A.
And it seems so simple, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, be polite. Oh, check on your guests. Oh, be responsive when someone asks you something. Oh, say my pleasure, not say, and do all these things. But think about that. Of how many, I don't know how many Chick-fil-A's there are across the country. I'm sure there's hundreds, if not thousands at this point, right? And these franchisees, all these franchisees are individually owned. Like, think about that. That is not an easy task to do on that monster level. And you think about it from our level, it's like, but wait, we have one company. We don't have 1,000 locations. I have one location. It shouldn't be so hard. Excuse me, but it is, because if there's no training and there's no systems and procedures like we do lack here in a lot of areas, then we're stuck with assumptions, just assuming everybody knows you should care about the person in front of you. You should be polite. You should handle this situation like this and this situation like that. They have to be put in place. And I know that, and I'm aware of that. And that's why we're putting these people in place. We're going to sit down and we're going to make it happen. And if you're out there and you're struggling right now and you're growing and you're saying, you got to find the right people. The recipe starts with the people. And then from there, you can build it out. This has been in the works since 2012, just so everybody knows. Since 2012, I've been working to get to this spot. I came back into the fold in this building in 2012 after there was an issue with a previous employee, and my father and mother called me back in and said, Rich, we need you. So-and-so, something happened to so-and-so. I was like, oh my God, it's terrible. But we need you. So I said, listen, I'm going to come back, but it needs to be my show. You need to trust me, because there was a lot of lack of trust on my father's part. But anyway, 2012, I came back and we began to slowly change the game. I had to clean house. I had to bring in my own team. And we've been developing this now for 10 freaking years, because it was January 2012 that I came back. This is 10 years in the making to get to this point. So patience, I don't think, is the problem. We definitely are going to have the patience. I know I do. And even though I might sometimes complain or cry about that things aren't happening fast enough, but I think that's human nature from time to time, because we just want things done. We want to get things done. But so operationally, this thing, it can't move forward without all of these things in place. You know, we have the great techs, we have great support people. Now it's time to get the systems, procedures, and strong management in place to oversee it.
So Quentin says you need a book of knowledge that is a reference for everyone in your company for every contingency.
So yeah, Quentin, 100%. I have up in my office, my little cubby hole over here, about 3 or 4 pages of stuff that I began putting together over the past, I would say, month. There's a lot to do. I need some help. I need some more people's ideas and thoughts getting in here so we could kind of put it all together properly. That is actually in the works. And I like the book of knowledge. maybe
like employee handbook.
Yeah, because we do have a handbook. I do have an employee handbook, but this is beyond the employee handbook, honestly. Systems and procedures like this, we could just say this is the Malachi Cares book of knowledge. Know it, learn it, live it.
The Malachi Care book?
The Malachi Cares book. The Malachi Care book.
Yeah.
Care Bear. I don't know why I said that.
But Quinn also says, don't be in a hurry. The only place to go is the end.
That's true. That's true. See you at the finish line.
And Taz says, I can write a book of knowledge for anyone that wants to acquire me.
Aha.
But we have a question from Joe. Joe says, I did a warranty call yesterday on an Ultra Fryer rethermalizer. Found a bad thermostat, but also found a supply voltage. That supply voltage was 240 volts, but unit was rated for 208 volts. Who's at fault?
The person that installed it.
Joe, did you install it?
I mean, I as an end user customer, they have responsibility in that sense. So it does fall back on the end user, but whoever did the installation, those are the people that probably should rectify this. And if we have, I'm a service manager, if I have a discussion with the customer and I'm like, listen, the voltage was 240, 208 coming in, you got this is 240, it's rated. Who did your install? Oh, I got my guy. Okay, well, your guy should be on the hook for anything that the warranty is not going to cover, type thing. I mean, those are the conversations that could be had, on the side from service manager to end user, depending on how it all goes, depending on what the manufacturer is going to cover. These are things that should be discussed from site. We should never leave site without trying to figure this out, something like that. Because I would, as far as a technician, I would say, listen, I'm going to call my service manager, see what's going to go on. Service manager probably has to conference in quickly the person from the manufacturer that's going to give us a little bit more direction and say, hey, listen, and when you're dealing with big chains, more concessions are going to be done. If you're just dealing with a one-off restaurant, they're probably going to be on the hook for anything that's wasn't a manufacturer defect, because warranty covers manufacturer parts defects only. People don't understand when they're buying this stuff. If they plug the unit 208 volt unit, or you plug a 120 volt unit into a 240 volt outlet, you're on the hook. Manufacturer's not going to cover. They didn't do anything wrong. You did, or the installer did. So yeah, when there's installation problems and stuff like that, it usually falls back to the installer. And I would tell the end user that, like, listen, we have your credit card, we have to charge you. You're more than welcome to go back to whoever did that and give them the bill. And we're more than happy to explain the situation, if that helps. So, but definitely discuss that with service management before leaving site, so we have something to go. Once you leave site, it gets a little bit harder. It really does in those situations. So yeah, I mean, that's my 2 pennies on that.
So going back to the original discussion, Jason Hartman says, a set of company values and mission allows people to make decisions that align with the values of the company on their own. It may be a place to start. Where are you going? Uh-oh. Where did he go? Oh, I see what he's bringing. Hold on, please. I was like, where did this guy go?
I have these hanging up all over the building. I don't know if they can see that.
I can. Yeah.
So we got the core values, we got the mission, we got the vision, and these boards are up all over the building. So, and the core values, when I put these together, were simple. It's care, respect, generosity, urgency, team. We talk about them in the meetings. I go over them, make sure everybody remind them of that. The mission is simple. Malachy is about people. We care for our employees, customers, and business partners for growth within the commercial kitchen equipment service industry. Working within our core values, we provide the highest standards of quality service, technology, training, and education in order to be profitable and give back to the people that have dedicated their time to making this happen. And the vision, we are focused on investing in our people for the future growth of Malachy Parts and Service. As we commit to technology and expansion, the core values we set in place will drive us to the next level, being the leaders in commercial kitchen equipment service, maintenance, and installations. And those are all over the building. And I think care and urgency for me are always amongst the top. And I talk about those often when I talk with team members here. We have to care, and it starts here, caring for each other. And then outside of that, the urgency. We are in an urgent business. Everything is urgent. People can't cook. People have walk-in boxes going down. There's product at stake. That means that they need to be able to continue doing their business so they could feed and pay their employees. we have a lot of responsibility and obligations to people that put their faith in us every day. So we have to be urgent in everything we do. We can't work. We can't. Tomorrow can't be a thought in our mind. Listen, tomorrow's going to come. 4:30, 5 o'clock rolls around. We hang it up. We go home, relax, recoup. Let's do it again tomorrow. But we're not thinking. I can't be thinking about tomorrow. Right now. Right now is what we have. So I always like to remind everybody that the urgency that has to be in the blood, Monday through Friday, from start to finish. Yeah.
Joe Fabish added here, it was a Popeyes, and I did inform my service manager. His response was to call the factory and the customer. Ultra Fryer Pico said outer and inner elements need to be replaced with a 208 volt elements.
Okay. So it sounds like the manufacturer is picking it up. From what I can gather. And yeah, I mean, I as a service manager, yeah, I mean, definitely would direct the technician, or depending on, again, it really depends fully on me being a part of this entire situation, whether I would want to jump on the call of myself or not. But yeah, we do want technicians to call the manufacturer from site as well and give the rundown, the synopsis, and let them know, hey, listen, this is what's happening here. Are you going to send these parts no charge? Are we going to charge the customer? How do you want to handle this? If so, we got to have to shut this thing down. We have to quote it, all these different things. So there's a lot of variables, right? Nothing is cut and dry in this business. Nothing. Every job is completely different than the next. And I think that gets lost on a lot of people's understandings that are probably not on the service side. When you look outside to other sectors of the industry, and I hear that, and I see it when someone calls up and goes, "Hey, Rich, can you quote me install?" It's just a simple install. It's just simple. It's apples to apples. It's simple. When I hear that, I'm like, dude, no. There's no such thing as simple apples to apples. Now, listen, I'm not saying that this install might be easier than the next. So some are easier than others. But they're not all the same, and they're not all easy, and they're not all apples to apples. And there's a lot of variables that come into play when we get to site, even when we do site surveys sometimes, because there's human error. I mean, listen, our technicians, no matter how amazing any technician is, they're still human. And they could be trained until the sun burned out, and they've been doing this for 30 years. There's still stuff that you're going to run into that you've never seen before. There's still things that are going to arise on a site that you didn't anticipate. Be humble. Swallow a big humble pill. I mean, that's definitely a big piece of advice, because you can't get stuff done if you think you already know the answer. You have to be humble and sit and look back and be like, listen, you know what? Let me hear your thoughts. I've been doing this 30 years, but that doesn't mean you can't teach an old dog something new. So different variables. There's just a lot out there. Even when we write the systems and procedures, the book of knowledge, the Malachi Care book, whatever you want to call it, there's going to be things that just ain't in there. And as we go along, we'll probably add to it, and maybe we'll take some stuff out. But again, this is something we're going to work on in perpetuity. It's a forever changing thing, right? Changes are the only constant, and we have to adapt, and we have to change. We have to be willing to change, especially with talking about the thing that we're talking about today. Accelerating our operations for growth and all this stuff. We have to be willing to adapt and change, and not sit here and act like I'm not going to sit here and act like I know it all or I have all the answers. Because if I did, believe me, we would be light years ahead of where we are. I'm learning a lot as I go. There's no manual on this. So to those watching, keep at it. Keep moving forward. It's the only thing you could do is an inch a day. If that's all you get, it's better than going backwards. So that's my fired up session right there.
Well, speaking of teaching an old dog new tricks, I was trying to teach you how to do the text to speech on TikTok yesterday.
Yeah, you did. I got it. I got it down.
You finally got it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I've been learned.
You've been learned.
Is there anything else?
Well, no, Joe just added, never stop learning. Things evolve and change every day. No one knows everything.
My main man. You are right.
And Bob Albin also says, hi guys, looking forward to seeing you guys in April.
Oh yeah, go get your tickets. Bob Albin with Singer is going to be in the building. Taz and some Walmart peeps are going to be in the building. Josh Zolan and company in the building.
And you mentioned her before. I'm actually really excited to meet Gail.
Gail will be in the building.
Yeah.
That's right. So before we go though, I'd like to talk a little bit digital and bring some more value. So, talking about FedCon, okay. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to understand the importance of getting your digital branding and your digital presence going in a forward direction on a consistent basis. You're going to look at the panel that we have, which is on content and leveraging that content, right?
Yep.
To grow your business. I mean, what do you think we're doing here? We're not just doing it. I mean, listen, I enjoy standing here talking to you guys. Don't get me wrong. I love this. I'll do it all day, but there's bigger things at hand going on here. We're looking to continue to connect with you all. We're looking to build the audience and grow the audience and get you more excited and bring value to you. If I'm not bringing value to you, you're going to turn me off and you're going to say, yeah, this guy's boring. I'm done with him. He's not saying anything that I care about. And by the way, jump in the comments and let me know if there's any topics or anything you want me to talk about or touch on. Please let me know. I'm not saying that I have the right answers. I'm just going to give you my opinion. That's the bottom line. That's what this show is. The fired up episode. I mean, listen, we definitely spit facts when we have to spit facts, but a lot of this is also opinionated. Whether we agree or not agree on this stuff, that's okay. I'm okay with that. We could still break bread and have a drink. Who cares?
Sure.
We don't got to agree on everything. But yeah, please let me know if there's any topics or any things you want me to touch on. And if you want to jump on a fired up with me and talk about something you have on your mind, let's do that too. The world needs you. The world needs to hear some more of these issues, more things that are going on out there. Let's teach people. Let's teach each other. So, but when you look at FedCon, we're going to have that panel. And we're also going to have some TikTok and real stuff going on. We're going to be, Josh is going to be talking about a few things. I'm going to be talking on the impact of the words and the things we choose to do here on social media and how it could affect us in our business and our employees. So we have to be weary of things as we build our platforms and having a strategy for each platform. When you look at this, social media networks are not created equal. I've said this before. We've talked about this before. The way you create content and engage with your audience on Facebook is very different from how you do on platforms like Snapchat or YouTube. For example, LinkedIn is generally more valuable for B2B than B2C companies, but in either case, the content should be work-related. Truth. I mean, are you utilizing LinkedIn right now? How many times? I'll tell you this question. I'd love to know. Throw it in the comments. If you're watching the replay, still throw it in the comments. How many times a day or week do you post on LinkedIn? And I'm going to tell you if it's enough. And then let's look at it. And maybe we can help you, give you a few pointers or ideas to tell you what you should be posting. Maybe maybe you don't have the right idea. We're here to help. Generally, you don't want to talk about work while you're on vacation, and you don't want to bring up what you had for dessert last night during a board meeting. Likewise, know what your audience expects depending on where they are within the social media universe. So you got to really understand the platforms. For me, TikTok is definitely something I'm going to dive more into. I want to learn more about. Like I said, Lisa just taught me a little something. I not just from a Rich Malachi brand perspective, but Malachi Cares perspective. I want to do more. I want to teach people there. I want to teach people why it's cool to be a technician. I want to teach people how-to videos. Simple ones on different equipment repairs. There's a lot of things I want to bring to the table on TikTok, but I want to make it fun. And the reason I want to make it fun and talk about what technicians are doing all this stuff, because I want to attract that young demographic that's there.
Can I just throw in a little nugget of information?
Hell yeah.
The reason why I think that the food equipment industry would be successful on TikTok if more people started posting there is because TikTok is very niche oriented. So literally the food equipment is a very specific niche, and that is literally the place that it needs to live is TikTok, because you're looking for talent, right? You're looking for people to build community through TikTok. That's also a place you can do that, believe it or not.
Yeah. And I know there's going to be those people that are saying, well, our demographic and our people aren't there. I don't think you could say that, because what if you want to create that community? You could pull them in. You don't even know if you haven't tried. Like you said, like it's that niche market. And if you're focused on finding, let's just say from the service side, because that's where we are. If you want to find technicians, you want to find young guys or girls, young blood to fill those seats. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you had a TikTok following technicians, doing different challenges, doing different things that look fun and that show exactly what these guys are doing day to day. Talk about the benefits, talk about the money, talk about the no college debt, talk about all these different things. You're going to start pulling, people are going to start paying attention. It could change things. That's why I know that I'm way behind the curve on where I need to be on TikTok. I'm getting there though.
So Joel Block says not a lot of food service equipment content on TikTok. It's wide open, which is the truth across all platforms. However, come on, get on TikTok.
Yeah. So, I mean, stay tuned. Definitely for the Fed Group, Malachi Cares, all that stuff. We're gonna take TikTok to a new level this year. You might not see that until summer.
And I do like that Jason chimed in here too. He says, know your target audience. Knowing your target audience is so key. That is how you define your platform, content, and strategy. It would be interesting to see a TikTok strategy for manufacturers. I will have to think about it. And Jason, I love that. I would love to talk to you about that too.
And I could just say from the top of my head, a TikTok strategy for manufacturers. Now, I don't know what that strategy are we looking, if you're looking to sell more equipment, or are you looking to like show what this equipment actually does? Because I think showing the equipment in use could be like the differentiator. Like imagine having, like, even for us, like the stuff that I want to do here that I have in my head. I have it in my head. If we had that test kitchen rocking and rolling, like getting the saute pan, getting the flames going, showing some food, showing what this does, giving a little insight, like, but making it fun and not making it so here is the pan and we are like, no, let's make it fun. Let's have some energy and be like, oh my God, look at that equipment. Like
you can cook something with a filter. Like there's many different types of filters on TikTok that actually aren't just face filters. They're full body filters. And you can you
be a chef maybe?
You could be SpongeBob. You could be.
Yeah. I mean, that could be something interesting. I mean, I know there's big companies have different branding things, but imagine a smaller company, maybe, SpongeBob cooks pancakes on XYZ griddle tonight.
Well, that's the other thing. I know this is a whole
other topic,
but just to throw it out there, like TikTok is a very unedited place. So that's why people post 4 to 5 times a day, because it's literally just posting random things.
Mm-hmm.
And so Quentin actually says, but you have to adjust the language for a TikTok crowd or else you'll look way out of place. Definitely a point to be made there.
Sure.
For sure. A lot of people are learning some new lingo on TikTok as well, because it's coming from a younger generation. Like Quentin says, otherwise it will be like a teenager trying to navigate Medicare Part D.
That's true. That's true. I mean, listen, I don't think there's any right or wrong. There's trial and error. You post, you figure it out as you go. Don't get so overly romantic about every single one you do. Just put it out. And that's what I've been doing for all the stuff that I do. I really don't overthink many of my posts. I'm just posting. Something comes into my mind. I'm going to throw this up right now. It's done. Same thing's going to happen when we get to TikTok and we start doing more of that.
And yes, Joel, there is a lot of blue collar pride on TikTok. He's saying that's the way in, and that 100% I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm connected. I'm watching a lot of these from all different trades. I mean, you see a lot of stuff, HVAC stuff. Came across this ice guy that does ice machines the other day. There's a lot of stuff on construction sites. A lot of different guys. There's a lot. But there's a lot. There is blue collar pride, and yeah, I mean, you could infiltrate right into that. There's a space for you. All you got to do is bring value, be interesting and entertaining, and see what happens. What do you got to lose? Nothing.
We'll teach you. Come to FedCon.
Come to FedCon. Get your tickets right now. We're going to be talking about this stuff. It's important to the future of this industry and to your business if you're in the food equipment industry in any sector. Reps, manufacturers, dealers, consultants, service companies, technicians, facility managers. I'm even talking about end users and restaurants. There's more that these guys could be doing, especially when we start utilizing employee advocacy. When talking about stuff like that, I mean, there's a lot more that could be done. So this is the ground level of what FedCon is going to be. At the end of the day, we're a community of people across the food equipment industry. And, when it started, there was a lot of different things going through my mind. I was really just trying to build a brand. I mentioned this around Rich Malachi because I wanted to build Malachi and I wanted to build the stuff, but it went away from that. It became less about me and Malachi and more about the industry at large. And then we want to find new technicians. We want to find new people to fill all kinds of seats in these offices, from reps to manufacturers. You need new engineers. You need new product, people selling product. There's a million things that are needed right now, and they're going to continue to be needed as people retire. So I think collectively we could really put a lot of content out together, get louder together, and we're going to be putting on a lot of events. I think the Fed Group at the end of the day is going to be an events company for the food equipment industry. We're going to be a resource for education and training of different. I'm not saying any exact what the training is going to look like, but a lot of different areas. We, master classes and different things of that nature. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on in the very, very, very near future. This is the ground floor still. So please be one of the founding members. Get to fedcon.com. I know I'm passionate about it. My goal is to get you passionate about it. And there's going to be a lot of leaders out there. And I think you're going to have your eyes open to a whole new world. So
thank you so much, Charlie, for commenting. He says Ed Stulek at FedCon. He makes great TikToks. Charlie Newman.
Oh, Charlie. Yeah, he does. He's really doing a lot more with TikTok these days. And Charlie, I hope we're going to see you guys there. I want to talk to you. But yes, so and continue to thank our sponsors, Hashizaki USA, Kason Industries.
You're blanking.
I know. Origo, XOI, Windy City Equipment, Blue is the New White, Repairs, coming to the building, and more to come. Get ready for some announcements coming. We have the Premier Open, which may be spoken for yet. I don't know yet. We got 2 platinums. We got 3 golds. We only have 2 silvers left.
And
Bronze.
3 more bronze left.
We have a few bronze left. And then we have some unique opportunities. Right now, we do have, if you want to sponsor in the conference app. We have not locked that in yet with anybody. So let us know. We have other interesting opportunities to have you there and have you seen. Again, this is not one of those big 10,000 people conference, 1,000. This is an intimate type setting. And listen, it's going to grow. It's going to continue to grow next year, or 2 years from now, 3 years from now. We're going to look to grow it. Right now, it's definitely more intimate. And I think there's a lot of value in the intimacy to connect and build partnerships, build friendships that last forever. Because, as I've been going along, it's been wonderful to build friendships with people that I do business with as well. It makes it more fun. It makes it nicer because we're helping each other, and it feels good. So I hope to see you all at FedCon, and get your rooms if you got your ticket, book your room, please. Please book your room. We have a cool little video we're going to be showing you guys of our recent trip out there. I did a little room tour for you. These rooms are cool. They really are. They're really nice rooms.
Yes, they are.
For the value. So I'm just gonna take it down.
That's it. It's a wrap.
That is a wrap.
Thank you guys so much for watching today.
Thank you all for being here. If you're watching on the replay and you made it this far, I thank you. Reach out anytime. Any questions about FedCon? Any questions about business? Anything at all? Maybe you just want to know the best pizza place in New Jersey or something. We can help you out if you're visiting New Jersey. That's it. Listen, fired up. Tuesday. Done. We're going to look to get fired up again. Mañana. What are we going to talk about? You have to tune in. Stay fired up. Make the rest of this day count. See you.